package funding support of $5 million allocated to Kolombangara Forest Products Ltd. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, good friend Leader of Opposition, for that question about the $5 million that was supposed to be granted to KFPL that's how Amy go finish too, yeah. So Amy, only for those companies that are 45% or higher in terms of shareholding. That's the criteria. So right now, what I do company doing what a social community social responsibility, that wasn't the criteria then. So maybe I think that question may be important for future consideration of if anything also happen more. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Leader.
Yes, we'd like to thank you, Minister. He was the Minister of Finance too during time of ESP, and him not announced him selling by Golo KFPL. I'm not sure that was before him he taken paper Golo cabinet for guideline or after, but he announced it. And then so he made public information. So there was an expectation down there, company that they would be receiving. So still we're waiting here, but now he made clear the grounds. So even those grounds were not clarified to them too. No sorry why Selene him no go, and we visited Kolombangara, and they asked whether they should still be expecting it or no more, or whether it was in the report as having been allocated to them or with something here. So I will ask a question again, Minister Hemi, clarify. But next time, you will not announce Karag also. You will have a good first time criteria guidance, then you will time announce expectation there, but by select. Okay, with no very false expectation. But I do thank the Minister for clarifying the matter. Thank you, sir. Move on next.
Move on.
Thank you, sir. Question 38 for my dear brother, Minister of Foreign Affairs. And let me read also. Can the Minister inform the House on details of tariffs imposed by the US on Solomon Islands exports to the US? B, what impact is expected on trade with the US from this? And C, what actions is the government taking to mitigate the impacts of the tariffs? Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Leader of Opposition, for the question. Question is a little bit technical one, but let us go through it. Honorable colleagues, immediately after the United States of America put in tariff on 3rd of April 2025, the Ministry will conduct a survey of what the effect of this tariff happened or country blaming. In fact, if you hear an announcement by the Prime Minister, having very minimal impact. But sir, let me say that we are not spared of the global tariff that is imposed by the United States. Even Solomon Islands and the Pacific region, it may affect it too. Let me give you some example. For Fiji, what are 32%? Our friends from Vanuatu, they have 22%. And small country, Nauru, 30%. Even Solomon Islands, even 10%. And baseline on top of the other tariffs that has been imposed on us, particularly tuna blaming. But Mr. Speaker, the initial USA trade rates for Solomon Islands prior to the USA Liberation Day policy have fallen into two categories based on two factors. Firstly, the general system of preference here, what I call them GSP, not GPS, but GSP, which allow even with the LDC countries, the least developed countries, and with several developing countries, for trade within USA, duty-free or very minimal duty or tariffs. Mr. Speaker, so the access to the USA generalized system of preference for even the Solomon Islands and the Pacific have expired in 2020. That was 5 years ago. So we are waiting for the US Congress for renewal. But Trump has come inside and imposing more what tariffs and the other tariffs around the world. The second factor that we got is the most favored nations status. So under this most favored nation status within USA, even Solomon Islands is receiving same unilateral tariffs based on the USA applied and applied a lot of other countries and applied limit too. So our status affected there too, sir. Unless you got a special tax tariff within what USA. The tariffs that were imposed by the USA comprises of supplementary ad valorem import duties to be paid in addition to the existing duties that imigaram. So that means on top of the existing duties that imigaram, 10% more adding on top more, sir. So Solomon Islands, imigaram is an additional 10% duty on top of the ones that we already have. So Solomon Islands and USA trade performance, imi garab tufala, ya imi export gola USA and then imi import lot too. So firstly, lo Solomon Islands export, what name exporting gola kata. Imi trade with USA very minimal say. And lo data that imi collecting about 2023, Mr. Speaker say, hem kasem lo 0.000843% export blemi. And these are mainly in what not to call it, kava, other reptiles, and the corals and some other plants. I think the exotic plants. Have no way export go to USA. So from export commodities to USA during 2018 to 2023 have no other exports, kava, coral, plants, and also other reptiles. Losaidlo, Mr. Speaker, Losaidlo imports that we import from the USA in 2023 comprised of 1%. In fact, 0.09496% of total import share, ranking 16th import destination. Imports from USA, and frequently we imported from USA, 2018 to 2023, things such as poultry, other communication system, meaning other telephones, and also other salt. Have no way me importing from USA. So the USA reciprocal tariffs are intended for driving the bilateral trade deficit below the USA in goods. However, for trade with Solomon Islands, the period 2018 to 2023, Mr. Speaker, sir, maintaining a constant trade surplus for USA, but deficit. Despite the tariffs applied by Solomon Islands, we are experiencing a constant trade deficit, sir. Mr. Speaker, just to answer the second part of the question, am I right? The second part of the question is, what impacts is expected on trade with the United States of America from all of this, from this one? What impact? Mr. Speaker, the impacts happen multilateralism, believe me. Reciprocal tariffs now generate the WTO trade-related international support architecture and also penalizing Solomon Islands as an LDC country. And in addition to our current inherent structural vulnerability, like I say, fragile states, so we handle the economy with care, so to speak, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker said. So further indirect impact of the higher US tariffs would be anticipated through global supply chains no more, and prices along with global market dynamics, which would lead to elevated price and costs of the goods. Implication to current exports. Mr. Speaker, current exports of carver, reptiles, coral, and plants, regular annual exports with zero import duties by USA, given the low level of processing, and will now be subject to 10% duties now. So last time I'm duty free, now we got a 10% look at duties layer. Law 2023, Mr. Speaker, we got 0.0843% look at imports percent. So this other figures here, before layers with the central bank and not give more figures for complementing now what we will findings before say. Mr. Speaker, we must acknowledge that despite the small numbers that Solomon Islands farmers and exporters EB Senegal USA, what the export covers, Variva particularly, they are making efforts to absorb the 10% cover export on the tariffs, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so the other one is the salmon tuna that we have. Imi Salemota tuna blaming US buyers. A major achievement in itself that we be able for accessing the US market. What about the garam stock tuna but however we break through and we were able to sell tuna law USA. But Mr. Speaker, I want to give him 35% now, a tax for tuna blame. And now, Mr. Speaker, we on top of this 35% tariff, now we have another 10% on top more. So I have 45% now. I'm making with the friends blame law, sold tuna, a little bit struggled by export law, USA law tuna market. So that is the effect that it has on us, Mr. Speaker. In going to the third question, Leader, me answer and go for you. What actions is the government taking to mitigate these imports of tariffs, impacts of tariffs? Mr. Speaker, reinforcement of Solomon Islands' commitment to the fundamental principles of multilateralism. The way that we are going, like me example, I'm China, the debate from buying beef law USA or the look law else other market too. So that's the kind of things that the Bible look like. In debate from local USA, maybe selling tuna blaming somewhere else more, or what other products blaming, Mr. Speaker. And so as a LDC status, with the LDC status and small island developing states, it may be vulnerable to us, population may be vulnerable to these shocks. And the call for a recommitment to the WTO to trade-related development assistance, special and differential treatment for LDCs, and recently graduate LDC to multilateralism. So multilateralism, not by me, we should look at how we trade more this time with the mother countries. Solomon Islands has already committed to its reinforcement, not only bilaterally with the USA, but also collectively through the Pacific Island Forum and the PESA Plus parties that Imigaram. So Imigaram PESA Plus and also under the Troika. So the ministry will continue for monitoring of the situation, and if need be, we prepare for pursuing venues of leveraging existing FTAs, Solomon Islands has signed onto, and which provide for us the tariff predictability or the FTAs believe. Also, imi look lo reorientate our export and seeking alternative markets, as we explained today. And for whole of government to expand its support to relevant ministries to export for better infrastructures and more competitive business environmentally. So to be prepared for these dynamics, and as LDC is looming, graduation looming 2027, you must continue for pursuing with the USA renewal of the GSP, so that for the Pacific and also accomplishing now the transitional period for graduating LDC 2027, Mr. Speaker, sir. At a time when trade tension has created uncertainty, is creating uncertainty, changing trade dynamics, order and relationships across the world, in Solomon Islands, you may have to be, we are not spared, sir, and you have to prepare in him level. This is a time when we, alongside with our partners, must stand up for the multilateralism, support a multilateral rules-based trading system, and also advocate for dialogue, for unilateralism, cooperation over confrontation, mutual respect, over cohesion and intimidation. As the world continues to recalibrate its economy and trade relations, you must keep changing, you must adapt to the changes that is happening around us, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable for Small Malaita.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Supplementary question, no more in his response to Action C. That one, no me. Here, Minister, tell him come with something where Trump him nothing recognizing WTO here. Nothing recognizing any law with something where immigrant before this time. So, other reptile kava, and one of them know something where coral, I think. Me like Mr. Speaker, what exactly now ministry or government have been doing for assisting all the exporters, Lord, different commodities here? Let me tell them what China is doing, but that's what China is doing in response to these tariffs. But me like Sabe, what name me doing? Actions na me meaning, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Member. Minister. Minister of Finance, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, for Small Malaita. I think specifically the question in relation to number C, the specific actions that the government taking in response to this 10% tariff. As a Minister of Foreign Affairs, I mentioned in Goya, impact long yumi and very minimal. As this will trade long yumi, just about 1%, 0.9%. In fact, 22, 23 Kamia, 0.4%. So there is, in fact, one report done by Central Bank that what na impact this reciprocal trade and tariff where US putum, and of course where am affecting other major trading partners. So directly, very minimal. So therefore, I'm not urging any particular response for me to him at this point in time. But indirect effect belonging through our trading partners, especially China and Australia, through what supply chain and trade dynamics also might affect long inflation, long exchange rate, long and therefore on growth. In particular, time consume high cost of importing some very essential item that are an important factor to our production or construction things also. So that could be an indirect effect that we might look in. And our central bank, including our ministry, is closely observing this. And but at this point in time, there is no particular policy response measure that is put in place. But we are observing it. I think this report by central bank may accessible. Sabi take him long all the time.
Thank you, Minister of Finance. Honourable Member for South Malaita.
Thank you. Just a follow-up on the Minister of Finance's response. So yes, the impact is very minimal. It's probably for exports where we export lo US or the zero stakatumas. So I think number para normal in thing. Yeah? So the impact would really be very, very small. But question below me, what exporters here? What exporter, we export them cover, export them crocodile or what? Reptile, yeah? Reptile and what the coral here. It is probably the 100% of their trade is being affected by this. So one question below me is as to what are we doing to assist these exporters in their business or also. If we talk with them, anyone local to finish or action me like Savena, whether we have spoken with any of them, what now by government have Savena doing along this one because no more, they are hit by this extra 10% tariff, the exporters. So I'm now questioning Blomil on that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very important question. And so what the ministry is doing, Mr. Speaker, is we will talk with him what farmers and the exporters, what exports blame, particularly cover. So we are in discussing with him what very well. So initially, what I say, what I think that they can absorb the 10% tariff here. Because I'm affecting down the chain, what the growers at the man, farmers here, and then come not exporters and then export. So we're looking at a possibility of exporting to Australia and what our friends playing in New Zealand, which are close by, particularly cover and what especially cover. So yes, to answer the question, we are talking with exporters and farmers on these matters. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Minister. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And just in addition to that, the other way for you may look at and then decide whether to support them or not. One is that there is minimal impact, as we say, therefore, really big for you may make a many respond, even to support our locals, exporters along reptiles or cover. But if you look at those exports, mainly income, or say those kind of wild or corals or cover that can come from Pacific here, our neighboring countries. So we are competing with them along our US market also. And if we look at the tariff that they imposed on that, you mean 10% here. Vanuatu, I think, me 20%, Fiji, I think 30% or so. So, in fact, we are better placed than them in terms of our competitive advantage in that way of looking at it. So we should be better competing with, maybe Fiji, but a little bit more expensive. So look come long solo. So in that way, we may a little better off compared to our neighbors in terms of the tariff imposed on new meals.
Thank you, Finance Minister. Leader of the Opposition.
Yes, thank you. So just in terms, again, on that front look at the exporters below Yumi, I think you may not dismiss him lightly. Varivao say by him absorb him 10% here, okay, maybe for a month, maybe 2 months. By him start to go, by him working capital below it, then go him affect him with farmers here. So you may not take consolation from Vanuatu him high tariff, winning Yumi, Fiji him high, winning. That's no consolation to us because it could severely retard growth log down now the farmer. Because the way tariffs work, of course, MOSM duty, GST, you may charge in low warfare, that's a tariff. And that's paid by the importer. It's not paid by a supplier come from overseas. So, Varivao exporting, but importers in the US now should pay him that 10% tariff here. And then we charge him what customer blow. So inflation blow America. But if we get forcing Varivao for him, absorb him 10% here more, hey, you must take interest in that matter to understand how that market can work. So I think there is need for a little bit more work here, rather than just at the surface level trying to understand the broad implications, to go down a little bit more and understand how it actually impacts those exporters and then the farmers that align behind it. The cover crop is growing, network of farmers can grow, and you may like to encourage him, so we must pay special attention to him. And then the matter of market facilitation. It's taken many, many years for developing American market here for Kava Blayumi. And then, slap him, you wait him, tariff here more. So, shifting markets, no easy something, branding of the products or the quality phytosanitary issues, something here. But companies here, but cannot repeat him all those costs 2 years. And so, there is room for government to become involved to support that process if we are shifting to Australia or other markets for the products. I'm just wondering, Mr. Speaker, are we talking to the Americans about pointing out to them this is just ridiculous? They must know it's ridiculous, charging us this kind of tariff. Nauru is even more ridiculous than us. But that ridiculousness needs to be pointed out to them. Me here moget go charging on Wale Island where penguins no more lo Antarctica, lo tariff too. So it's the whole, not the whole thing. Maybe some of it reasonable, but lo Yumi ridiculous. That ridiculousness, we need to point out to them in direct discussions with them, so that they can see, yeah man, go over now, I'm excessive. So we do need to also be talking directly to them rather than say, impact blame minimal, so you may leave him go also no more. That one now me not think any good response. So me like Sabe no more. Are we talking to them on these tariffs? Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me just add to what the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Finance said, but especially with regards to question C, what actions is the government taking to mitigate the impacts of the tariffs. I think going forward is very, very important. But let me get back to the leader of opposition first in terms of talking with the US. Our embassy in New York, which covers Washington, is doing that bilaterally. But regionally, as Troika, the Troika is the past forum chair, the current chair, and the incoming chair. In our recent meeting a few weeks ago in Nandi, Fiji, as part of the regional approach that Troika has written to the US administration in terms of possible dialogue between the region and the US in terms of not only the impacts of the tariffs on individual economies, but also the impacts of other US actions in terms of support to the region, like support to the SPC, for example, or to SPREP. So that dialogue is ongoing at the regional level. And I understand members of the Troika plus the Secretary General of the Forum was in Washington recently to carry on with that conversation with the US administration, how we can work together with them to minimize the impacts of some of these actions and keep the discussions on a more positive note going forward. But coming back to us, Mr. Speaker, as a country, in terms of what we should do as a government, especially in terms of policy, is important. And what is happening with regards to the tariff, it means that the government must take decisive action to strengthen and diversify our trade relationship and partners with more partners, and while reinforcing domestic industries to minimize reliance on external factors. It is also important, Mr. Speaker, as the Foreign Minister has pointed out, that we now enhance regional cooperation in terms of that various trading arrangements that we have. We need to do more on that front, trade with each other, so that in the event of shocks, we can better cushion our economies. But it also means in terms of trade going forward, investing in a robust infrastructure and fostering economic self-sufficiency that will not only fortify the economy, but also create long-term resilience against unpredictable tides of global trade. In terms of the impacts on the exchange rate, I think the Minister of Finance has alluded to that. The central bank and the Ministry of Finance is watching that very closely in terms of the impacts of the tariffs going forward on exchange rate, as our dollar is pegged to the US dollar. The US dollar has a much more bigger weighting, I believe, about 78% compared to the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, the three currencies that our currency is pegged against. So these are policy matters that the government is well aware of, and we are really cognizant, and the need to take action is there. It's not only now, but also going forward in terms of trade, so that we can better cushion our economy in terms of the external shocks that are coming. We are also cognizant that the US is talking with its major partners, with China, with Canada, with Mexico, and I think there is some movement on the positive side going forward for those economies. But indirectly, we will experience also impacts, because when our other major partners are feeling the impact, like China, and Australia, others, at the end of the day, that will cascade down to us as well. So we are also cognizant of that. And of course, apart from tariffs, there are the other US programs that we've been talking about, and we are waiting for the 90 days period to come. Then we know our way going forward. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought I'd just add those, that as a government, we are very cognizant of the need to take actions, especially in terms of the trade and utilizing our regional and sub-regional markets. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, in direct answer to the question by the Leader of Opposition, the ridiculousness of the issue here. Last month in April, we have all the Pacific Island ambassadors in New York and Washington, what a whole meeting law, Washington, at the margin of the World Bank and the IMF meeting in Washington, and what raising exactly the issue that this thing is affecting the Pacific Island countries. And they had a meeting at the margin of those IMF and the World Bank meeting with the Washington administration on the matter. Just to answer his question. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Member for West Harare.
Thank you, Speaker. Supplementary question, Column Minister Noma. Thank you for the answers, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Finance, including Prime Minister as well. Issue for email tintin series lahemen, paper way forward. This fellow minimal ya noma. The way imitarem hem was hem here weak lo noma minimal hem lo as far as our standpoint. Ma big investment o kata retail exporters o kata cover o kata exporters bring lo that market o kata mekemia because economy bring small noma you mean say 0.0000000 osem hem minimal. Me like it for you must help them o kata osem. The penetration into those markets is very expensive. My supplementary question is, Kavana mino herem minister, mi herem sample work lo noni, hem also happen, mino herem mi putim lo lisia, mino exportim noni lo US market, or since hemi 0.0000000 hem minimal tumas, so hem no sabe kasim on this fala lista. Question no, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, me like asking friend, let me repeating question one. Me concentrate on the accreditations. Can you repeat the question, Mr.
Thank you.
Minister. West Arara.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, powerful Minister Foreign Affairs. By me, Minister. Next time. Supplementary question. First, take note law point where me reiterate him no more point leader of the opposition and MP for Small Malaita hemi totok lo hem lo market ya. Okata exporters lo yumia though hemi minimal export to that big market US. But lo yumi meeting him big something to mas ya. Okata exporter lo yum penetrate to kolo market ya. The investment they've sort of put into getting into that market, we must recognize him and do something and develop more. My supplementary question was about noni noma. I understand noni exporter, market too, but it was not on the list that you read out. So me ask noma, you mean no export noni kolo US market? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, member for West Area, for the question. I think the market again, we very diversified, and I think it him got the farmers blame me, and not the farmers come up with China or the exporters blame me. So we will look at the Australian market, we look at the New Zealand market, and we try for moving what the exports blame the cover go to different countries where I'm close by now. In terms of Nonia, mi fanno gara many data lo Noni lo ultimi fala at the moment, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honourable Member for East Arare.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you, Minister, for your answers. In terms of what we're going through here, I think as was mentioned already around here, it's a global shift in what's happening. The architectures that has been in place and the chief architects of those systems now have started for doing things really outside of those architecture that itself created. So that's a big issue that I think regionally, as we are now hearing, is starting to talk about it. I think globally as well, people are starting to see where globalization is moving. These are big questions that are coming before us, and I think this is just symptomatic of perhaps a shift that is coming, and how Solomon Islands will need to be placed in this bigger shift that's coming. Now it's important for us to start to think ahead in terms of where will we be in the context of all these changes that are happening. Post-World War II world order is starting to shift a little bit. So that's the kind of things that I think Misabe, Prime Minister and the Cabinet, everyone is all already thinking about and then looking to see what we can do. But I think the answers that the Minister's been giving, I think, are already starting to point towards a direction, looking more inwardly in the region, looking more towards trading with each other, where we can control Lelebetia. I think that one is a natural kind of a default fallback for us, but to be engaged at the global level in terms of the changing dynamics, governance systems and trade that are happening. This kind of look down normal or whatnot trading system has been in the last couple of decades by the chief architect of the world trade. This is something that you must be very much aware of and concerned about moving forward. Question belum supplementary, Mr. Speaker, is tariff below imi charging. Mino herem, perhaps it's already mentioned, the US products that come in. This was supposed to be a reciprocal. They were putting 10%. Mino sa imi charging mo 10% or what now? Real charge or tariff or blanket one way imi do lane one no more imi cover that. Just wanted to know what the actual charge for tariff for US products coming in. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, a good friend from the member for East Arare. Imi reciprocal tariffs no, that's charging 10%. Imi 10% too. Particularly look at the communication system, the other selling farm, and also what other imports that we may importing from USA. So, and 10% reciprocal tariffs, Mr. Speaker. Sir.
Thank you, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Assistant Leader.
You mean this one additional on top law GST and duty me charging law of meeting him no more 30% you may combine them to Wale and apply across the board law. Every imports law, every country, unless this is a separate specifically for US, not an additional 10% law for further clarification.
Thank you, Minister.
That is correct. For clarification, and 10% law USA goods, imports of USA goods, on top of the what we have already charged over the law, taxes paying. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Minister.
Start what time? No more. This will additional 10%.
Minister of Finance.
Yes, Speaker, sir, I think when we talk about tariff here, we basically talk about not the tariff rates, import duty that we charging imports and therefore maybe about right that a 10% import duty or tariff that but then varied depending on what now you may importing from US also, which currently got many information in relation to that. But of course, all imports inside that goods tax and we build into it too. So when you add that, then the total impact maybe that normal calculation along another 15% or 30% or similar. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister of Finance. Thank you, Opposition Leader. You wind up now.
Yes, thank you, sir. I do wish to thank the Honourable Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Please, this little bit low Indiana, we need a little bit further clarification. Give him come whether there is a separate 10% more additional to normal GST and duty you may charge in law, which we are permitted under WTO rules because you may LDC. But give him come a little bit more, make me understand him good. The way Minister may respond, as if what impose him, you may reciprocate, you may impose. I don't think that is the case, but please confirm him come. Time finance will look look at customs duty rates. Yeah. But with that, sir, I do thank the ministers and the Prime Minister. Please do work with the exporters. Make me protect them or farmers below me in these matters and continue to urge the government to engage law forum level and directly with the Americans and hopefully get them to recognize the ridiculousness of a tariff here, law Yumi, law Pacific Islands, but specifically law Yumi, law Solomon Islands. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Leader of the Opposition, for the questions and the members who contribute law supplementary questions. Thank you, Thomas. Also, thank you, ministers, for your response of clarity. Let us move on to our next item of business.
Bills, second reading, the Special Economic Zones Bill 2024.
Honourable members, debate on the Special Economic Zone Bill 2024 continues today. Standing Order 48.5C requires that debate on the second reading of the bill shall be confined to the general merits and principles of the bill, not the details. In so doing, may I kindly remind members to comply with the rules of debate set out in our standing orders 32 to 37. As of yesterday, 9 falana contribute finish. Today, may like to precise law point of discussion blue so that you may cover majority today. On that note, the floor is now open for debate. Thank you, Honourable Minister for Planning and Member for Fataleka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this important debate, Lodisala bill that before the House, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of people of me, Fataleka, and also Minister responsible for national planning and development coordination. So me join him, others for, of course, congratulating you, Mr. Speaker, for taking this important role for make sure that members of the House do up to the standing order like you just remind us, Mr. Speaker. So me also thank the Minister of Commerce, Industry, Labour and Immigration for tabling this bill. On that note, me also thank him of the ministers that also work on this solar bill, like the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and also the task force that was work on this fella, as he said, policies like you may hear from other speakers that this workload, this solar bill had me started way back in 2015. And so I think this bill for me table in Parliament by did not have me important because lot of work already done, including wider consultation, Lord provinces below me, and of course, Lord of the previous government, Mr. Speaker. Me also like to thank him, the Bills and Legislative Committee, for your work in making sure that bills have come before the House and must be fit for purpose. And on that note, me also acknowledge a number of recommendations that was recommended by the Bills and Legislative Committee, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as me alluded to earlier, that our midterm review of our National Development Strategy 2016 and 2035, and we revealed that the sobering truth that we are off track of our key economic target and indicator, Mr. Speaker. Example, Mr. Speaker, that we should grow our economy by 5% this year, 2025. Or by 2030, we should grow our economy by 7%, Mr. Speaker. To ignite growth, we need bold intervention. And so, Mr. Speaker, this, as you said, bill is one of such intervention, Mr. Speaker. So the objectives of our NDS calls for sustained and inclusive growth through diversification. This bill has been aligned perfectly with that vision by attracting foreign and domestic investment through tax incentives and streamlined regulations, Mr. Speaker. The bills also by boost export by focusing on areas that can help growth, Mr. Speaker, like agriculture, fisheries, and other areas that we see our potential, like tourism as well, Mr. Speaker. So decentralizing development by enabling, as he said, in potential areas, also important for our country, so that UMI survey planning where now for UMI survey putum ota key enabling infrastructure for this kind of activity, Mr. Speaker, and that one also important. UMI survey learn from other lesson learned from other countries like other speakers also touch him earlier. Mr. Speaker, you may look in our neighboring country like Fiji, using tax-free zone, law areas of garment manufacturing, and of course ITC service. We can also achieve similar success from learning from our neighboring country like Fiji or Papua New Guinea, Mr. Speaker. So on the SC and LDC graduation, Mr. Speaker, you may target by 2027, Solomon Island will graduate from least developed country status, Mr. Speaker. This transition brings challenges, particularly in area of trade competition, Mr. Speaker. Our smooth transition strategy identified, as he said, as key tool to that, Mr. Speaker, and that for strengthening our productive capacity, streamline processing, especially lot potential below you mean, like law agriculture and even law fishery, Mr. Speaker. And we also help for us to be diversified, especially for growing our export, as others such as to earlier, Mr. Speaker, that currently you mean our balance of trade, you mean export, you mean importing stack too much compared to our export. So the bill may help also for you mean for diversify, Mr. Speaker. Of course, the bill also by having enhanced private sector resilience against external shocks, like you may discussing a lot of questions just raised, Mr. Speaker. And so, Speaker, some of the challenges that also raised, especially to do with customary land and rural development, that's challenge, Mr. Speaker, me also cover law development bill, especially law clause 9. Mr. Speaker, me sort of outlining how by you deal acknowledging that our Solomon Island customary land hemi so important, like member for its choice all hemi touched that one yesterday, Mr. Speaker, and that's something that is important because land hemi important to us, Mr. Speaker, and the bill hemi also cover them and also clearly providing processes for deal with him customary land or traditional ownership, Mr. Speaker. So as you may note from the bill that HEMI covered well in terms of how HEMI draft in terms of wider consultation and HEMI covering of the provinces below, you may say. So in terms of incentive, Mr. Speaker, the bill cover, especially law clause 51, ensure proper and also help to address some of the challenges that served by help, and that you must look in some incentives like tax holiday for exporters, duty-free import, especially for what now for helping setting up Lord, as he said, Mr. Speaker, and also reducing the bureaucracy for, as he said, businesses, Mr. Speaker. So in terms of the, as he said, authority ensuring success, so the bill also covering that one, especially dedicated the, as he said, authority, law part 8 of the bill, that's crucial for coordinating all stakeholders, especially in our case, as you may touch on earlier, the land ownership of provinces and investor, and it's something that we see the part 8 of the bill covering that one, so that helping me in terms of enforcing compliance to prevent exploitation, Mr. Speaker, and that may also help in terms of marketing our country for attracting genuine investors, Mr. Speaker. You may know that others revere too that challenges you may face him in terms of how for him attracting foreign direct investment in our country, and so you may continue to focus on exploiting our resources because of the kind of activity and investment that may happen around the country. And so this bill may help us in terms of how you may serve attracting investors for come, especially your genuine investors, Mr. Speaker, so that helping our country for grow. And so the bill may also help to address those challenges. Chair, as me touching earlier in terms of lesson we can learn from other countries, you may also learn him say that, as he said, once fell, you may learn him some lesson, especially lesson learned from some countries in Africa. And say what a good lesson in looking from how similar in case law Singapore and Dubai have no meaning by you may reaching those level, but the lesson that you may learning from other countries, and then you may see how you may deal with the challenges in our context, Mr. Speaker. And so say this bill have me important, especially for this House. For you me passing this bill, of course, some of the challenges raised and also the recommendation that was recommended by the bill's chair, I think that's what blow Parliament, that some of the areas that laws that you may need for amending or improving for us to bring it to Parliament for doing that one, Mr. Speaker. But for you me retaining the whole bill, I think that's not a good thing to do, sir. And you may acknowledge him, especially the support that's already given through this bill, Mr. Speaker. So one of the challenges that you may face him in terms of high unemployment across the country, of course, you may say our population and the youth population. And so this bill, Mr. Speaker, when we attract investment in the country by creating jobs, and it's something that is so important for you, me. For look at our potential. As Chair, I mean, noting that concern raised that how now by as he said, may happen lot rural areas, or happen lot particular province that are remote, Mr. Speaker. I think so. Let's see this bill that important for our country, that creating employment or environment for our people, especially our youth, Mr. Speaker. So, as me alluded to earlier, the bill also helped for you me for diversify into areas of growth, and that by me also increasing export and reduce our reliance on import, Mr. Speaker. So the bill, as I alluded to also earlier, by him unlocking too our customary lands and help, especially for sustainable development. And so, Mr. Speaker, with these remarks, and of course, areas that me highlight him, so me support him this bill, and me also appeal to the House that this is important going forward as we prepare our country for graduation by 2027, and of course, you may like for looking where for you may prioritizing infrastructure development so that helping areas of growth that you may like for forecasting development, and of course attracting foreign direct investment. And so with that, Mr. Speaker, me supporting this solar bill and me resume. I see. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member and Minister for Planning. Thank you, Minister for Infrastructure Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this very important bill. But before I do so, I would like to acknowledge the hardworking Minister for Commerce, his Permanent Secretary, the Commissioner for Inland Revenue, and the task force designated to work, was designated to work on this bill. I would like to acknowledge also his predecessor, the now Minister of Minister of Finance, and those before them. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the Bills and Legislative Committee for preparing a really well sought out and detailed report. However, Mr. Speaker, I rise today in full support of the Special Economic Zone Bill, a transformative legislative instrument that has the potential to unlock economic growth, attract investment, and create employment opportunities across our beloved Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, this bill is not just about designating special zones for economic activities. It is about charting a new course for inclusive development, regional empowerment, and more resilient national economy. It is a signal to both domestic and international investors that Solomon Islands is ready to do business seriously, strategically, and sustainability. As our colleagues have mentioned, as we prepare for graduation, there has to be bold steps that immediately taken, Mr. Speaker, and I believe that this bill, setting out special economic zones, sends out that message that we are ready to graduate from least developing country, to be from a least developed country to a developed country. And the only way we can do that is to attract genuine and big investors. As the Minister responsible for infrastructure and development, I can confidently say that the successful implementation of this bill will be fundamentally tied to our ability to provide the enabling infrastructures that will make those zones operational and attractive. I understand that one of the recommendations to the bill is that provinces has to be involved in decision makings. Whilst I agree to a certain extent, I believe it is important that there must be uniformity across the country on investments and infrastructure. Mr. Speaker, sir, that is the very reason why my ministry soon will be, the first reading has already been done, but we're bringing in the National Building Code as well, because the one for the main reason, and that is we want all infrastructures across the whole country to be uniform. So basically one standards, built to one standards, and one requirements. Mr. Speaker, I will briefly now touch on two recommendations by the Bill and Legislative Committee, which I believe links to my ministry. Mr. Speaker, in response to recommendation 8 of the Bills and Legislative Committee, which states that the government should prioritize the development of essential infrastructures and utilities, like the Minister of Finance mentioned, I think I'm clear that this bill, even by starting a lot of areas where the necessary infrastructures are already in place. And I believe like a lot of our provincial headquarters or towns, they already have the necessary infrastructures in place. And as the Minister of Infrastructure Development, I will ensure that if those that are lacking, we will definitely support these infrastructures. Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that this opens up an opportunity as well for public-private partnership. I think that's one of the things when we like clearly highlighting here as the image of infrastructure and someone who's come from the private sector background, Mr. Speaker, is that one thing that this bill opens up now is the opportunity for public-private partnership. Of course, a lot of investors, when they come in, when there's gaps, there's an opportunity that Ogatas are helping me filling in those gaps. Taking the example, if you look at Gold Ridge, odd buildings bridge well, for accessing road Bogota, they're currently maintaining their own roads to the operational sites. Another good example is if you look at GPOL, they're also producing their own electricity that is supplying not only their staff but some of the surrounding communities. They're maintaining the roads leading to the operation sites and around the surrounding communities. They also have a clinic, Mr. Speaker, that also not only support their staff but also the surrounding communities. And these are examples of businesses that are not even in special economic zones. Yeah? How much more if inside special economic zone? I believe there's an opportunity for that public-private partnership, and that's what this bill, I believe, will bring. Mr. Speaker, my ministry will be working closely with the Ministry of Commerce to ensure that the essential and necessary infrastructures are in place for the special economic zone. Mr. Speaker, recommendation 66 of the report, which states that the government should link the duration of incentives to job creation, I would like to highlight that, Mr. Speaker, that the construction and maintenance of all necessary infrastructures will create jobs. Not only the company whereby come and set up by creating jobs, but the preparatory work for this by creating jobs. And so I think all the infrastructure, and my ministry will be working closely with the Ministry of Commerce to ensure that we promote local content policies that are in place to promote local participation in the national infrastructure, specifically for the special economic zone. Mr. Speaker, as my colleague, the member for East, for Fataleka, mentioned here, unemployment is one of the big issues. Honiara is now overcrowded, with crime rates and rural urban migration hitting an all-time high, causing strains to our government essential service deliveries. We leaders in this honorable House are challenged to come up with solutions. Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that this bill offers one of the solutions in helping our country, a solution that creates jobs and reduces, most importantly, rural urban migration, forging a path towards the much talked about decentralization. Mr. Speaker, I believe if we talk serious about decentralization of government services and all of that, this bill set them a pathway for that one. We're having economic zones in the provinces, building the necessary infrastructures of this will employ a lot of the people living in the rural communities. And not only that, but when businesses come and then operate, that also generates income. Slowing down now, the man come from province, come Honiara for find work. Because if you look at everyone come here, Honiara, overcrowding Honiara, our hospitals are struggling to cope, law enforcement is struggling to cope with the crime rates. You may look at the hideous crimes that have been committed over the years. These are due to unemployment. One of the factors that is causing all of this is unemployment and the rural urban migration. And that is why if we implement this bill, we believe that we could at least minimize those issues. Mr. Speaker, let me outline the specific ways in which my ministry will support the implementation of the Special Economic Zone Bill. Prioritizing infrastructure planning and investment. My ministry will align its infrastructure planning with the needs of the designated special economic zone, whether it's roads, bridges, ports, airstrips, or utilities. We will work in close collaboration with zone authorities and relevant agencies to ensure that necessary infrastructures are in place, not only to kickstart investment, but to sustain it. A public-private partnership. I've mentioned this earlier. We will actively pursue and facilitate public-private partnerships to build and maintain infrastructures within these zones. The ministry will work to create investment-friendly environment that reduces bureaucratic delays and fosters transparency and accountability in infrastructure delivery. Sustainable and climate-resilient infrastructure. Recognizing our vulnerability to climate change, all infrastructure projects within the special economic zones will adhere to climate-resilient standards. So please, if National Building Code comes, you must pass it through so that this all ties in together. This is critical not only for the investors' confidence, but also for the long-term viability of these zones. Support local contractors and engineers to the promotion of local participation. While we attract international investment, we must also ensure that our people benefit. My ministry will work closely to ensure that local contractors, engineers, and laborers are given opportunities to participate in the construction and maintenance of the special economic zone infrastructure, thereby building capacity and spreading the economic benefits across our communities. I think it's important that locals participate in this, especially for the maintenance and the upkeep of these infrastructures, I think. And as part of GNAT, we strongly believe that local participation is key to our infrastructure developments. Mr. Speaker, I must also acknowledge no bill is ever perfect. This bill, like all others, will evolve. As we implement the special economic zone, we will monitor its impact, listen to our people, and make improvements where needed. What matters is we act now. As Minister of Finance mentioned yesterday, we live in an ever-changing world, Mr. Speaker. And if we don't act now, we will be left behind. So act we must, and build the foundation for growth and empowerment. Mr. Speaker, I believe this bill represents a new dawn for Solomon Islands. The Special Economic Zone framework provides the structure and incentives for investment, while the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development will support the Ministry of Commerce to provide solid fiscal foundation on which the investment can flourish. Let us work together to pass this bill with unity and urgency, for it offers hope to our young people, our rural communities, and to future generations who deserve a stronger, more prosperous Solomon Islands. With those few words being said, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion, and target the motion, Mr. Speaker. I will now resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Infrastructure. Now, I'd like to floor member for East Malaita.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank Minister for Police and member for East Korea for giving me the opportunity to speak on the bill. Mr. Speaker, let me very brief knowledge bill. First, I would like to congratulate you, Mr. Speaker, for your time and as appointed as Deputy Speaker and taking the chair for this meeting. Also, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank him, government for getting this bill before the House. I would like to thank the Minister for Commerce for taking this bill before the House. I would like to also thank the PS and the staff of the ministry for compiling this bill. Also, Mr. Speaker, forget him too for thanking Chairman Blue Bills Committee and the committee members for scrutinizing the bill and going through the bill before him come the House for me debating, Mr. Speaker. So, as I've said, I will be brief on this bill, but before I share some thoughts on this bill, Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Bills Committee for going through the bill. I know there is 70 recommendations where proposed this bill. But I would like to say here, Mr. Speaker, before I go on, I support this bill, Mr. Speaker. I really thank the government to get this bill into Parliament, and me by supporting this whole bill, the Special Economic Zone Bill, Mr. Speaker. Me just like for say here, Mr. Speaker, a few things that me just like for line them out before me sit down, Mr. Speaker. Just on the preparation towards this bill, Mr. Speaker, when it's passed and when it's is implemented, Mr. Speaker, for the government to share some thoughts for the government to look at it, Mr. Speaker. First thing now, Mr. Speaker, me like for Putumlo here, Mr. Speaker, is I would like to also thank, I know Ministry of Finance is working on a strategic budget for 2026, and I know good time now for Minister Luluklo this for budget plan for 2026 to strategize on seeing how Nabaimi start for implementing special economic zone, Mr. Speaker. Why I said this, Mr. Speaker, because we have to prepare. We have to prepare for this SEZ. It means that line ministries, Mr. Speaker, have to prepare for this special economic zone, Mr. Speaker. What we talk about, Mr. Speaker, is that when you talk about special economic zone, Mr. Speaker, you have to prepare what not, where not area by imiputum this economic zone, the location, Mr. Speaker. The location where you may have to start building wharfs. You may have to build them warehouses where now, Mr. Speaker. So those are some of the areas that me like to point them out, Mr. Speaker. For the actual bill, I don't have any problem with the actual bill, Mr. Speaker. But the preparations now is very important for any government, Mr. Speaker, that you would like to start for work into building up special economic zone. What areas you have to prepare, Mr. Speaker. The land, Mr. Speaker. This is very important, the land. Whenever we build in this economic zone, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, these things have to be prepared in advance, Mr. Speaker. Power supply, Mr. Speaker, for the locations. Water supply, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I know, Mr. Speaker, from experience, Mr. Speaker, investors coming to invest, Mr. Speaker, when they go to those places, there were no power, no water supply. And they pull out, they go, Mr. Speaker. So these are things that we need to put in place. Then we can start now projects here. Also, Mr. Speaker. So I think very important, a lot of things me raising, Mr. Speaker, and I hope government will work on it and prepare these things before we kick into for build them up now, economic, special economic zone, Mr. Speaker. If you look at Mr. Speaker as an example, if we talk about Mamarata Sifarong, Mr. Speaker, the way that our tribe for doing around, that is what we are trying to look at, special economic zone. We are looking at. But you're looking that there are still issues like that, Mr. Speaker. So work out according to what now you mean like for looking at that follow place, Mr. Speaker. So needing preparation, Mr. Speaker, a very big preparation for you starting off the special economic zone. If we look good, Mr. Speaker, I think only in Noro and in Honiara Nomad, Imisawa start up with it. They have the two international ports plus Solomon Island, or two places, Mr. Speaker. So if we talk about moving it to Lata, then we have to prepare Lata. We have to build an international port there, Mr. Speaker. We have to put Solomon Power there, Mr. Speaker. Within small scale, no more Lata, Mr. Speaker. But when you talk about economic zone, then it needs more power. You're talking about manufacturing, Mr. Speaker. Yeah? Those are the things that we want to do it in the economic zone, Mr. Speaker. We are trying to bring things here, manufactured ourselves, Mr. Speaker. Add value to things that you may like and for doing, Mr. Speaker. Add value, and that is important, Mr. Speaker. So that is why I said I will be brief, but I would just like to focus more on what areas here, Mr. Speaker. For Imilulukulhem. And I thank government, and I hope that with like I have said, with the 26 budget strategy, I hope the finance minister will look at these areas. And it's time to focus more on line ministries. The line ministries that by me involved inside this whole economic zone, we have to prepare ourselves. Yeah, within our budgets. Ministry of Infrastructure, prepare, build them roads to the locations. Ministry of Commerce, prepare, setting up a one-stop office where everything handled one place. Yeah, Mr. Speaker. I mean, everything, and I mean like him, he may look him that he may start for work already, Mr. Speaker. If we pass the bill, he should start to work already. Look at the location, whenever he put on this fella, SEZ land, Mr. Speaker. Especially, Mr. Speaker, the main area to the Ministry of Lands, Mr. Speaker. This is a very, very big problem where usually we have problem with our development projects, Mr. Speaker. Land must stretch, Mr. Speaker. And I thank my colleague here, member for East Choice, been going over and looking how no we go with him land. Yeah, so I thank the Minister of Lands by working on the reforms plan for sideload land. Very key and essential point now, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. All our land here, Mr. Speaker, why not in very, very slow development is because the land is owned by customary land. We can say here, Singapore is like this, China is like this. They are owned by state land, Mr. Speaker. Most of their lands are state land. And that is why development is very fast, very fast. But when we talk about our context here back in Solomon Islands, Mr. Speaker, every land, yeah, you go out no more from, yeah, behind Matariu or Kobito, customary land, Mr. Speaker, owned by customary land. And important that the Ministry of Lands and the government, when we walk into this special economic zone, Mr. Speaker, we have to hold our land-owning people inside, Mr. Speaker. And that is one part me like for talk land, Mr. Speaker, for share land to Mr. Speaker. I think it's time, Mr. Speaker, we have to recognize our landowners, Mr. Speaker. Our traditional landowners who own water land, water by doing development inside. They are very key people. At the moment, Mr. Speaker, that's why we fall short of doing our national projects, Mr. Speaker, we sometimes forget our landowners, Mr. Speaker. We didn't include them in the partnership. If you can go back before, Mr. Speaker, if you look at land tenure system, blame me, Mr. Speaker. You look at what Kolembangara and land or what? When we get those land from our landowners, they even don't benefit from those lands, Mr. Speaker. The titles go to the Commissioner of Lands, not holding title, the PE title. So we have to start look at those. If we go into this type of big projects or big, programs that government have like for taken. And this is very important. Special economic zone is very important for us, for economic growth of the country. That's very important. And I like it, Mr. Speaker. But these are some of the areas that me like him, government, and for you, me look now. Prepare when we start to go into this, as you said, Mr. Speaker. Prepare them land. Get those landowners involved to be partnership of the investments, Mr. Speaker. Me not looking at Mr. Speaker. I've seen this, Mr. Speaker, that our landowners are also benefiting from some of the investments that are happening in this country, Mr. Speaker. try and look at an example with SIPL, GPOL, Mr. Speaker. Those are some of the good examples. What some whole areas of Semnami, like Imilulukulem, that they also benefit from their resources, Mr. Speaker. Company, land owning group, partnership together, they also share some benefits, Mr. Yeah. So before we go into this one, me like for emphasizing more, Mr. Speaker, that we must lulu good with him land owner blame, Mr. Speaker. Whatever province, Mr. Speaker, resource owners, land owning groups are very important in our development. To go forward more, Mr. Speaker, moving forward to the future, Mr. Speaker, we have to look at these people very important, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. That one no more, Mr. Speaker, sometimes imi go into waiting mode forward, but Ota no agree for alarm lands block, Mr. Speaker. Because they think that time government imi take him, Ota no any part lehem now. So I think it's good to see the reform law lands and come, giving back PE titles back to landowners, Mr. Speaker, and they involve into the investments within partnership, within investor, Mr. Speaker. I think there are some ways that IMISA agree, Mr. Speaker, that IMISA looking things moving forward, Mr. Speaker. So I think that whole area, Mr. Speaker, me like him that, I mean, IMI start for Lulukule, Mr. Speaker, and I hope Minister of Lands, reform where lands go at land, or must take them very seriously for involving other land owning groups to be involved any development in doing, especially with SEZ. But not happen inside law C, Mr. Speaker. SEZ will happen on top of land. So as I've said earlier on, land is most in our Melanesian culture in Solomon Islands, land is owned by customary land. So if we think of building a SEZ somewhere else in Western Province, then by you building landlord people are there. So deal with our landowners, get them benefit from whatever that happened inside the land block, whatever investments, get them be part of it, Mr. Speaker. I think that is what I would like to share here, Mr. Speaker, about sideload land, so me just like for sharing a little bit. And also me tell him earlier on, Mr. Speaker, place whereby imi putumia power must focus. Yesterday we have just discussed about some questions and answers below Logizo town number about water, borehole. You see, these are things that imi need to look at. So power must go, water supply must go there, so that when we build him up, as he said, that place, every development happens at and Barawa. Set now, Mr. Speaker. I did not forget here, Mr. Speaker, that I would like to thank Prime Minister. I know one of your statements that you tell them when we're in cabinet, and that is one thing me like for you must stand, Mr. Speaker, that we have to put funds into our economic zone. Yeah. Any big development will happen, he must first put himself in. And I agree with what Prime Minister and the statement and talent. And this is what we're supposed to do now, Mr. Speaker. That's why I said, Minister of Finance, look at the budget blue, 2026 strategy budget blue, as he said, I'm going now. We pass it, all line ministries involved in this one, prepare now. So set him a budget blue for this one, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I know also areas where benefits. I know some provincial governments provincial government got a little bit look like this one too, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to see government work closely with the provincial governments to look in that area where talk with them, discuss with them, so that they're satisfied, Mr. Speaker. So those are some of the areas, the benefits, the revenue collections. That one too, Mr. Speaker, have good time for ministry, provincial government, try to discuss with him or the premiers and or provincial governments blame me for ironing out those issues. Because I think there are still not satisfied yet. So those are some areas that try to look at how will they benefit from those special economic zones. Look at revenue collections and all this what happened with them, Mr. Speaker. So, as we said, me no long time no more. Me very happy now for this all bill and come, Mr. Speaker. And this is our one way forward that we can build economy of this country, Mr. Speaker. As we saw, if it happen to any province, blame me, Mr. Speaker. We can build it in any other provinces where you like, whereby I'm helping country. Yeah. But as me said, Mr. Speaker, why we like stand up for talk is just to see, point them out no more points that we have to prepare for this, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, imi pasi mo ham laylo deno, Mr. Speaker. The policy ba ham stop lo deno. Yeah. Where no going to take them up. But if we are focusing more on building special economic zone, Mr. Speaker, preparation is very important towards this bill, Mr. Speaker. So I think I'm now and me like for sharing, Mr. Speaker. I don't have much more to say, Mr. Speaker, but once again I would like to thank the Minister and your team for bringing this bill before the House so that they may debate with him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member for East Malaita. Now, by making opportunity, Law Minister, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me opportunity. On behalf of people, Blomilo, Gizo, and Kolombangara, for contribute in terms of supporting the Special Economic Zone Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, this legislation is alluded by our other colleagues. The perspective Blomi is a transformative one. A milestone not just for economic development, yes, sir, but for national security, law and order, and public safety in our beloved Solomon Islands. And so time we contribute as Minister of Police by me presenting why this bill has been important and by also contribute towards developing a secure Solomon Island that you current, Mr. Speaker, sir. But before that, let me join him, other colleagues for extending sincere congratulations below me, Law Honourable Minister for Commerce, Industry, Labour and Immigration, or the hardworking officials below him, Bills and Legislative Committee for taking time for look through law this particular bill and make them recommendations which me agree can be able to be addressed over time. And the important thing to do now is for passage below this bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, economic development and national security are two sides of the same coin. A secure nation fosters economic prosperity, while economic strength reinforces national stability. Hemosemian, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Solomon Islands National Security Strategy 2025 recognizes that stability and public safety are not achieved solely through police operations or corrections management, but through inclusive economic growth, job creation, and resilient community. The very reason why you may like for looking at this particular bill have been passed. Because not only that BIAM contribute economically, but providing opportunity engaging so many young people unemployed and in many instances, they are led into mischievous behavior and causing unlawful activities, and sometimes, not sometimes, but in many cases, cost him to country Bluyumi for him deal with other issues. Yes. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Police, National Security and Correctional Services is fully prepared to support the establishment of special economic zones and will provide every necessary assistance to ensure their success. And when we like to talk about in one or probably 3 points or 4, and then by me stop in my contribution this morning, Mr. Speaker. So number 1 is that economic development and national security are symbiotic relationship. Stakatay mi lukos and two different thing. Police and we deal with in law, and when we talk about economic development, we simply think about road infrastructure or so. But in fact, they are very connected to each other, Mr. Speaker. This bill does not stay in isolation. It complements the National Security Strategy 2025, which lays the groundwork for legislative reform that will enhance national security, which is a prerequisite for the successful implementation of special economic zones, Mr. Speaker. So, many ask, are we prepared to provide the necessary security environment to attract genuine investors into our soil? Mr. Speaker, I confidently say yes. To achieve this, the Ministry of Police will actually implement several strategic measures which have already either in a policy making. Cabinet has endorsed decisions and certain stages in terms of legislative reform have happened. And I think it will be of interest below nation to note, for example, Mr. Speaker, sir, the RSIPF growth plan. This plan can directly link and will contribute to support the establishment of the special economic zones, Mr. Speaker, and that will be to enhance security capabilities. Also, sir, under the national security strategies that you may have, we are actually developing policies and now preparing paper to be brought before cabinet for actually developing national security intelligence bill. Draft work can happen. A robust intelligence framework will address issues of concerns where, of course, you may acknowledge, like trafficking, money laundering, transnational crime, and emerging threats, Mr. Speaker, sir. Specialized training and response program are part of the ongoing development law, RSIPF. Our forces will be equipped to handle natural and man-made disasters, ensuring swift and effective responses. And I can continue on to outline a number of key policy programs where you may developing and you may hope for also preparing bills so that all programs you may and regulated under law in the future, Mr. Speaker, sir. The second thing we like to talk about, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the special economic zones is a platform for economic and social stability. Mr. Speaker, the SEZs will become the backbone of, as others have been alluded to, private sector investment. attracting both domestic and foreign enterprises. Provincial development, ensuring prosperity reaches all corners of our nation, and perhaps taking into consideration that areas that you may really need for improvement either by way of developing bills and legislation for addressing mga issues here, or improving the existing legislations that you may garner for addressing critical issues and challenges that you might face in time you passing na this bill, Mr. Speaker, sir. And importantly, job opportunities, providing employment to our youth and reducing crime and instability. By giving our young people the means to earn a living, Mr. Speaker, sir, we address the root causes of crime, disorder, and unrest, creating peaceful and prosperous communities. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that strengthening law enforcement and security infrastructure to ensure the success of the special economic zones. 3 key areas of security enhancement must be prioritized and working in progress, and already in those areas, Mr. Speaker, sir. Number 1, reducing socio-economic grievances, and I believe that law bill yumi garem got closes for addressing these unemployment, inequality, usually fueling unrest, Mr. Speaker. The special economic zones provide a structured approach to address these grievances. Number 2 is that enhancing community policy. This is an ongoing program that my ministry is undertaking, Mr. Speaker, and the special economic zones will require an expanded presence of the RSIPF and correctional services to uphold law and order. We are recognizing that, and Yumi Waka to ensure that time we passing this particular bill, and also associated development and also supported, and in this regard, development of police and correctional infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, sir. Third, in that particular point, Mr. Speaker, sir, is decentralizing security services. The special economic zone frameworks allows for greater reach of police, correctional services, and emergency response capability into rural and remote areas. So in fact, having the SEZs have by also attracting investment, building security infrastructure throughout the provinces, Mr. Speaker, sir. The final point in support of this bill, Mr. Speaker, sir, is the inter-agency collaboration for special economic zones success, Mr. Speaker, sir. Sir, my ministry will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Commerce, Industry, Labour and Immigration, and the Solomon Islands Special Economic Zone Authority to embed security considerations in the special economic zone planning from day one. We will commit to conducting risk assessment for proposed special economic zone sites to prevent crime and disorder. Establishing police posts and correctional outreach centers in high growth areas. We will be developing safety and compliance protocols for businesses within the special economic zones. And also, Mr. Speaker, sir, we will be enhancing inter-agency cooperation on border security, immigration oversight, and enforcement of commercial law. Mr. Speaker, as our National Security Strategy 2025 states, a secure Solomon Islands is one where development and stability walk hand in hand. The Special Economic Zone Bill 2024 is not just about economic expansion. It is about fortifying our security, empowering our people, and safeguarding the future of our children. Thus, Mr. Speaker, I stand fully committed to this bill. My ministry will ensure that law and order are robust, proactive, and seamlessly integrated into the Special Economic Zone framework. With these remarks, I commend this bill to the House and pledge the full support of the Ministry of Police, National Security, and Correctional Service, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Tomas. I support this bill and resume my seat.
Thank you, Minister for Police. Now I'd like to invite him, member for West Koyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Almighty God for His protection and guidance, as without Him, we can't reach this far. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we congratulate you for Deputy Speaker of National Parliament of Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker say, we rise on behalf of the people of Lomelo West Koyo constituency to register my support for the Solomon Islands Special Economic Zone Bill, which is brought before the Parliament for you may debate. The plan to set up Solomon Islands Special Economic Zone Authority is a big and important step for the growth of our economy. By fixing problems with the way foreign investors have been handled in the past and focusing on bringing in better quality investment. This initiative will help build a strong and lasting future for Solomon Islands. We also appreciate how powerful Minister for Commerce and Trade to see the need for outside help to get Solomon Island Special Economic Zone Authority up and running smoothly. By asking for support for development partners and putting the right system and process in place. He is ensuring that this authority will work well and make a real difference for our nation. The Special Economic Zone Bill is not just a new bill or new law. It is a powerful idea for change. It matches our hopes and dreams for a stronger and better Solomon Islands. Mr. Speaker, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Honorable Minister of the Fishery for highlighting the critical importance of Binahamba tuna processing plant and its potential to significantly boost the economic prospect of our nation. The Minister focused on the direct and indirect benefits this project will bring to the people of Solomon Islands is both timely and vital. As the Member of Parliament for West Koyo constituency and the Chairman of the subcommittee of Binahamba subcommittee, I have a deep and unwavering commitment to ensuring the successful progressing of the Binahamba tuna processing plant. This project is not just an economic initiative. The successful progress of the Binahamba tuna processing plant. This project is not just economic initiative. It is a transformative opportunity to create jobs, empower local communities, and position the Solomon Islands as a leader in sustainable fisheries. The Binahamba tuna processing plant represents a strategic investment in our nation's future. Its direct benefits include the creation of hundreds of jobs for local citizens, providing a stable source of income for families. Additionally, the project will generate indirect economic activities, such as opportunities for local business to supply goods and services, to support plants operations. These ripple effects will stimulate growth economic, not just in West Quay constituency, but across the Solomon Islands. The passage of this bill is a critical step in establishing Binahamba as a special economic zone, Mr. Speaker, for fishery in Solomon Islands. By providing the necessary legislative framework, Mr. Speaker, this will ensure that Binahamba project is supported by a robust policy environment that encourages investment, simplifies operational process, and fosters competitiveness. The Solomon Island economical SE zone designation will attract international investors, strengthening our export capabilities and enhance our global standing in the tuna industry. Mr. Speaker, the Binahamba project is a beacon of hope and a testament to what can be achieved through visionary leadership and collaborative efforts. As the representative of West Quay constituency, I pledge my full support to this bill and ongoing development of the Binahamba tuna processing plant. Together, we can unlock the immense potential of our fishery sector for the benefits of Solomon Islands. With these few remarks, we support the bill and I resume my seat.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Member for West Quayo. Now I give this opportunity to Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity to also briefly contribute to this bill, the Special Economic Zone Bill 2024, tabled by the Minister for Commerce. Thank you, Minister, for taking this bill. As you have heard from the previous speakers, I think it starts way back 2000. The member for East Choice told him, telling that that's where him born. I think that idea came when the nation was looking at the bona fide demand by Coral Canal and looking at the opportunity for decentralizing developments for our various provinces. And thank you, Minister, for continuously pushing this bill for Kamlongo Parliament. Also, in this juncture, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the officials, Longo Ministry, for continuously putting effort that hemi kasem lo here. The Special Economic Zone Committee as well, and also the Bills and Legislation Committee, which finally put him this one here. But finally, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the consecutive governments who tabled this bill for him come for him finally debating long Parliament. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Member of Parliament, Law East Social, for continuously pushing this bill whenever him long power. And I know he's one of the members of Parliament, but I'm happy for looking this bill and pass through this Parliament. Mr. Speaker, let me look at the recommendations given by the Bills and Legislative Committee. I think 72 recommendations, Mr. Speaker, and me look every recommendations. I think it's good for ministry for look him, helping me for fine tuning this bill as we try for implementing this special economic zone. But more so, Mr. Speaker, most of these recommendations were content issues which can be addressed through the policy and also regulation part this bill. And I hope that the ministry, with the leadership the minister, the good minister himself, can put in those considerations into actions. The special economic zone, Mr. Speaker, long objective lo him short no more, Mr. Speaker. Him like the objective is make sure for make him this environment him conducive for foreign investors to come and invest long country believe so that he is creating job opportunity for people believe me. I think that's a very big challenge for me as leaders long this 12 Parliament. So many youths or graduate from universities, vocational schools, colleges, place for work are now him challenge. And this is an opportunity for us to make this bill and go through so that we can start work on sample opportunity for the investors for come. Mr. Speaker said the main interest in this bill for improve standard of living for people believe. So everybody in the Solomons can happy to call Solomon Islands as a home, and for you staff enjoy every resources that you got in this a place. I think, Mr. Speaker, the bills cover intensive areas with consultations with various stakeholders, and I'm pretty sure that me happy for this bill I must go through. And lots of recommendations that the Bills and Legislation Committee put in, as I have stated earlier, perhaps I will cover along policy and along regulation part of him. On with regards to my ministry, Mr. Speaker said, currently I'm Minister of Communication and Aviation, and when we're talking about digital transformation, communication, hemi move along very fast changes, exponential. And my ministry is looking at how now by Mr. Speaker have help along special economic zone. 2023, the Minister of Communication and Aviation signed with Commerce, Minister of Commerce, Industry, Labour and Immigration for this e-business, yeah. That's part of the communication part of it, and the ministry is willing for work more along him. Also, my thinking for look long might be creating a Silicon Valley, but all the hardware and software, the home of the hardware and software. People might look for opportunity, might be for establishing, assembling drones, staka drones here. imi wala sa look imi sa look lo opportunity for putting that wala a part lo development. Mr. Speaker, say as most of the speakers have stated, I think we are trying to open a new page on our nation, believe me. Let us reform and open up. Let us allow the minister and the ministry to champion this bill and to enable us to move forward. What we like for implementing this for the nation. To conclude, Mr. Speaker, I would like to state that this bill, I know, is not only for economic empowerment, but also will help the psychological liberation of people blaming this for the nation. Let us see Special Economic Zone as a beacon of hope. With these remarks, I support the bill and I resume my speech.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Now let me give the floor to Chairman, Police, National Security and Correctional Services, MP for Temotupele. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing the member for Temotupele to briefly contribute in support of this very important bill. I also take this opportunity to thank the Minister of Commerce and Trade and also the hardworking staff and other supporting ministries, including stakeholders, in putting together this bill. I also thank the Bills and Legislation Committee for their oversight role in the scrutiny of the bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand before you today on behalf of my people of the Temotupele constituency with great optimism and hope for the future of our beloved Solomon Islands. We are at a crucial crossroad in our nation's economic development. Sir, with the introduction of the Special Economic Zone Bill, we have a golden opportunity to drive growth, create jobs, and elevate the living standards of our people, especially those in our rural and underdeveloped regions. Mr. Speaker, sir, our economy has long relied on a limited number of industries, most notably logging and agriculture. While these sectors have saved us well, they have shown signs of vulnerability. The global market is evolving, and it is imperative, sir, that we diversify our economy to remain competitive and resilient. The SEZ bill is a key step in this direction. Honorable Speaker, special economic zones are not just areas with tax incentives. They are dynamic hubs for industrial growth, technological advancement, and innovation. Through the establishment of these zones, we can attract both foreign and domestic investments in critical sectors such as manufacturing, processing, and value-added services. These sectors are essential for reducing our dependence on primary industries and expanding our export capacity. Honorable Speaker, one of the most compelling aspects of this bill is its potential to bring balanced development across the country. As you know, sir, we face a significant regional disparities in economic development, with provincial and most rural areas often left behind in terms of job opportunities, infrastructure, and access to resources. The establishment of special economic zones in strategic locations will act as a catalyst for growth in these under-served areas. For instance, the Motu Province's geographical location provides an ideal transshipment hub for inbound and outbound cargoes to and from our neighboring countries like Vanuatu and Fiji. Sir, by creating job opportunities, fostering entrepreneurship, and improving infrastructure, we can ensure that the benefits of economic development are felt by all Solomon Islanders, not just those living in the capital. This will help reduce the rural-urban divide and promote social harmony. One of the most pressing issues, Mr. Speaker, sir, we face is youth unemployment. According to recent reports, a large percentage of our youth people are either underemployed or unemployed, leading to frustrations and lack of opportunity and hope. This bill provides us with a powerful tool to address this challenge. The creation of jobs within these zones, ranging from manufacturing to administrative roles, will offer our young people the chance to gain meaningful employment. Moreover, we must not forget the importance of skill development. Through targeted training programs and partnerships with educational institutions, we can ensure that our workforce is equipped with the skills needed to strive in a rapidly changing global economy. Honorable Speaker, the development of SEZs will also have a far-reaching impact on our infrastructure. Roads, utilities, ports, and digital connectivity are the backbone of any successful economy, and the bill provides a framework for making these vital investments. The government is also committed to investing in infrastructure under the Solomon Islands Infrastructure Program, and the establishment of SEZs will be a natural extension of this effort. With the right infrastructure in place, businesses will be able to operate more efficiently, and the entire country will benefit from enhanced connectivity and improved services. Honorable Speaker, a key goal of the SEZ bill is to attract investment, both domestic and international, by offering attractive incentives such as tax breaks, customs exemptions, and simplified regulatory processes. We can create a business-friendly environment that encourages investment in areas that have long been neglected. This will not only create jobs and boost local businesses, but also increase our foreign exchange reserves and contribute to a more diversified and resilient economy. Honorable Speaker, of course, while we recognize the immense potential of the SEZ bill, we must also remain mindful of its potential challenges. It is crucial that we implement these zones in an environmentally sustainable and socially inclusive manner. We must ensure that the development of these zones does not come at the cost of our natural resources or our cultural heritage. The SEZ must be developed in a way that respects the environment, promotes sustainable practices, and ensures that the benefits are equitably shared by all Solomon Islanders. To conclude, sir, the Special Economic Zone Bill represents a bold vision for the future of the Solomon Islands. It is a vision of economic diversification, job creation, regional development, and a more resilient economy. It is a vision where every Solomon Islander, whether they live in Honiara or the remotest village, can have access to the opportunities and benefits of economic growth. Today, we have the chance to set in motion a new chapter for our nation, one that is inclusive, sustainable, and full of promise. I call on all of us in this honorable chamber to support this important bill. Together, let us move forward with confidence and conviction, knowing that by doing so, we are investing in the future of our people and our country. With these few remarks, sir, I support the bill and I receive my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, MP for Temotupele. Thank you, Minister for Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute in brief on the SEZ bill before the House. A lot has been said by earlier speakers of both sides, some in support of the bill, others expressing negative aspect of the bill. But Mr. Speaker, sir, I will be brief in my contributions in support of this bill. First and foremost, the SEZ is expected to be the economic hub where, once established, in our various constituency. There are critics in the SEZ whether it will work to fulfill its expectation or will be another failed attempt. But let us think positively on this bill and support it. I will make a simple explanation or scenario. What na Honiara like in the last 60, 70 years before? Have of a small place, no? A few houses, no more. A few houses before the capital was transferred from Tulagi. And over time, it evolved to where it is now. That concept, I'm like looking at what SEZ to become. And that's why we need to support this bill. Me support him to mass called by MP for Nende of his speech yesterday. Remote areas Plomifala will be hard hit by this because of financial constraint, low government. The infrastructure that is mostly required will take time from established remote places Plomifala or the SEZ locations that have been identified. And it's not that easy because of the financial hardship that by government experiencing to put infrastructure in every places or every SZ. It's not that easy. And we must accept the fact that Papa Hem take time before we can achieve something. Others, we're going to buy a start off, say, identifying locations like Noro or other places we have already established. They will be ahead of us with this SEZ initiative. But Mifala Sampal, we're far away, remote, we will accept the fact. But with strong will and determination to go that far, I'm pretty sure we'll achieve that one. And me commenting to my Minister for taking this bill to the House. It's time that we go. It has been there on the shelf for too long, and we need to progress it. The SEZ, where it will actually sit, is on our land. And me commenting other comments by other speakers, land now we must look at. And me appreciating Thomas Minister for Lands and his technical staff. We ought to go around and do land recording. I'm pretty sure it's a worthy cause towards the direction that we may like him. Because once we can identify landowners, and then the government can deal with the landowners where the SEZ will actually sit. Because he must sit down low area, he must sit down low land. And once you have land disputes, automatically this will not work. So me commending lands, and in fact, me told the Minister of Lands Minister, I'm asking him if he could extend his staff to my constituency for doing this for land recording. Because nowadays, any kind of genealogy no come up. Time previous activities came around, those people were never identified as landowners to those land. Yeah? This time, I would say, oh, me will not landowner. And they come and they cause a lot of disturbance to what we really landowner we see down the places here. And that will be a problem once Imi was established in Mogata, SEZ and Playumi. I'm talking about all of us. And I'm talking from some experience from constituency Blomi, where land has become a problem. So me extending my call to the Minister for puti mo the land recording team blame wakam and ulukulo eri blomifala. So each constituency Blayumi has its strength in the resources that we have. That will be the pull factor for investors to come and sit in Jala constituency Blayumi after the infrastructures are in place. Mind you, because if that is not in place, investors might not come here. But we have various resources where we can say that have now by pull factor Blomifala to invite an investor to come in our constituency for developing and to make those SEZ become a reality. So it's constituency Blayumi. So me like say no more, we may not think negative on this bill. Let's think positively on this bill and let's progress this further. Me like to also no more, Minister of Justice will support wherever it can. Now we are struggling to actually roll out justice to all the provinces, Blayumi. It's not that easy, time consuming, and financial wise, it will be quite difficult. So, with those SEZ coming up, I'm pretty sure we will have enough money to actually, where you have people congregate together, you will always have law and order problem, and that will be the problem for Minister of Police and Justice for maintaining law and order and serving justice to people, victims, when we have a lot of people coming together and set up. And likewise, social services, Papa Hem coming too. So the Ministry of Justice will look positively on this SEZ initiative, so that people can support it where we can. It will not be that easy setting up infrastructure. Now people are facing a financial problem to put our offices right into the provincial centers and right down to areas that we feel there are areas that we feel courthouse, for example, in Choiso. So we will look towards that, and once the SEZ come, it will be another big task, and it will need finance to support this initiative. So with that few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I will not be long, I'll be brief, supporting this bill, and I resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister for Justice. Honourable Member and Chair for Public Expenditure Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to contribute to this very important bill, the Special Economic Zone. And before that, we also like to thank and wish you well, Deputy Speaker. Minister of Commerce, I also wish to thank you and your good staffs for bringing this very important bill to this floor of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of my people of the Central Guadalcanal constituency to reflect on the Special Economic Zone, Bill 2024. Speaking on behalf of my constituency and the aspiration of our people, thank you once again, Minister for Commerce, for bringing this important bill to Parliament. This is a very important bill for us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand here with absolute conviction that SEZs are the way forward for accelerating economic growth, investment, and national development in the Solomon Islands. This bill is a milestone that will redefine our economic landscape and lay the foundation for prosperity beyond Honiara. Mr. Speaker, this bill should have been introduced some 20 to 30 years back. Suppose you introduce him long at the time here, I think, Mr. Speaker, by you may already reap him and benefit him. Some benefits, and our people, this time about what I enjoy finish. However, Mr. Speaker, today we have the opportunity to correct that course, to build a transformational framework that ensures equitable economic development for every province's Los Solomon Islands. And it is time to broaden our focus beyond Honiara, as many speakers what I wish that you may dream over you may spread him over the special zones, not only the main headquarters blame, but other areas, the constituencies blame, the provinces blame where is suitable. And Mr. Speaker, Solomon Islands is rich in land resources and potential untapped and waiting to be utilized. We must embrace this opportunity to shift our development strategy, ensuring that every province ought to contribute and benefit to this economic expansion. Meeting also that you may, this one a very good opportunity, not only for our provinces, not only for our urban centers or like Honiara, Noro, and other provincial headquarters, but meeting also too for might be in the near future, where there is, because you may look at the constituencies, you may got potential sites too here, where might be the authority would see people from the constituencies also applying too. And having said this, I think my constituency is Central Guadalcanal have Mgaram Staka potential areas where government land are there, where we can build site where we perfectly positioned to host international airports and ports linking our provinces and international borders. This initiative will unlock economic growth, create jobs and attract investments and strengthen trade and tourism. Mr. Speaker, economic transformation means strategic planning. We must ensure SEZ's projects are efficiently managed, transparently executed, and aligned with long-term national interest. Establishing a clear implementation framework will provide accountability and ensure measurable success. Mr. Speaker, also me talem earlier on, me operem constituency blumi, once you vala leslo or korsa bloniara, me operem constituency blumi too. For government-led development, we garem what area also lo aula, some infrastructure in place. Me garem Vatu, area of land. Province. Migarem Pani, where you shall build an international airport there. We name na Henderson. And also international port. We name too that one down here. Mr. Speaker, we think that our authority, especially on special economic zone, to go out to the provinces and talk with him about the provinces, believe me. Meeting, they have their plans on where bioquatas are building or the kind of same special economic zone. So my constituency is ready. If you will say, Honiara Hemi pool finish, building road custom no there. It recalls me back, law, wise man and policeman by Bible. Policeman, I'm like him build normal place where I'm sand, where place him good finish. This was wise man and build a place where I'm hot. And time, imisagana story, time plat come. Man lost son, so policeman, everything and Barra destroyed. So that meeting that our remote places, they want a very good sites there. Where let's take an example, and I also agree with my colleague MP for Temotunende, even Temotupele, if you must ever go into fishery industry there, or tourism, there are potential areas there. And other provinces, you may get more potential areas there. So that you may spread them now, or the development along the provinces. Mr. Speaker say, this bill and one for a very important bill. And people below me, the Central Work Canal, I stand here on their behalf to support this bill. And me wish that this bill you may quick time implementing. You may no support him here no more than him finish, he must quick time implementing. So that you may look him now what you may talk about here. Mr. Speaker say, having saying this, me urge him, my good minister and my colleague and brother, to make sure that we implement this bill once it passes, so that you may, lo history, lo parliament, lo time blame bill hemi pass, and then waka hemi start lo samfala special economical zone where you may look him and pit for start. You may by grow from strength to strength until by whole Solomon Island, you may garam or the special economic zone. Mr. Speaker, I urge this Honourable House to fully support the SZZ Bill 2024. Let us seize this opportunity to lay the foundation for a more economical resilience and prosperous Solomon Islands. Our future is on our hands. Let us save it wisely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I resume my seat.
Thank you, Honourable Member for East Central Guadalcanal. Now became privileged law. Honourable Member for Raynal and Bellona. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for opportunity for contribute to this important bill. First, me like acknowledge him, the Minister, Gomez, colleague Minister, for bringing this bill. The House for him debate him, also his predecessor and other officers were helped for putting this bill together. Speaker, sir, this bill here, the intentions of it is very clear. I'm like for you, me make him an environment where you miss attracting investors come to the country inside the certain sectors for boosting economic growth, believe me. Economy, believe me, at the moment the level of growth is quite slow compared to population, believe me, and there has to be some proactive steps taken for you try and open up about land, believe me, attracting investment, and I suppose that's the main intention of this bill. Speaker, sir, just going through some of the comments raised by the Bills and Legislation Committee. acknowledge him, Chairman, for that whole report. I mean, before I get into that, there's many comments by other contributors that country Bloimi is made up of an indigenous population. This fella indigenous population, Bloimi, brings with it challenges to it in terms of, especially the land. 60% or up to 80% of the land Bloimi. When we pass this bill, you may need him land for developing what ideas there. Provincial land or registered land is not enough. Some of the unique areas around the country, them sit down the customary owned land. So there's many reference inside the report here, or this whole, in order to involve him come with a landowner, you must consult him with a, and this whole concept that you use him or principle that you use him a lot inside of this report is free, prior, and informed consent. So this one is a very important principle when you may look into opening them up with land blame, especially inside the customary owned area. But this whole free, prior, and informed consent, you may not really find any reference inside the laws blame. So when we talk about free, it have to be voluntary, without coercion or manipulation or pressure or intimidation. When you talk about prior, it has to be something before any planning or any activity happen. And being informed, you may have to be very clear, and the landowners have to have the complete information on what sort of development activity can take place over there. So as we said, this one you may repeat him inside the report law committee, but it's not in the Lands and Titles Act, it's not in the Mines and Minerals, it's not in the Environmental Act. They only talk about consultation or consent. So, this ministry, I think this is something we can really advocate for help in terms of promoting this fella bill if it becomes an act. Is this fella free, prior, and informed consent? Yumilo Solomon Islands is signatory of this fella UN declaration, law the rights of indigenous people. You may still not ratify. You may also part law ILO convention, but you may not ratify this whole indigenous tribal peoples convention. Those are very two important pieces of international law framework that you may start using for you promoting this whole free, prior, and informed consent. This one is quite important because we cannot approaching this fella issue using various approaches. Ministry doing one way, another ministry doing one way. We have to have a system or process that you may ever not doing. And it has to be prior to any development, this whole process can come on board. This is a whole of government thing, this fella bill. And as part of this ministry, we've already looked at how you must contribute to this whole process. And I think one of the main ones is to look at a framework or policy where you must build them inside this fella bill. Because this fella bill, I'm still open him up place where you start put him some prescribed criteria, go inside him. So this is perhaps something you must build into it a bit later. But developing a national FPIC framework or policy in relation to development activities, or when you may try for acquiring land for developing. Even though you may know signatory or you may not ratify some of these conventions, while process them happen, you may still make reference to this fella ILO convention while you may developing this fella policy. So I fully support this fella bill, sir. The intention is very clear, and very clear that you may need to grow the economy. State government system, still a long way away. You may need for start and push them with development activities to other different areas outside of the capital, blame. So with those few remarks said, we support this bill, and I resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Minister, for traditional governance. Thank you, Member for Ranoka Simbo and Minister for Provincial Government.
Thank you, sir, for allowing me. Before I go to make my remarks, let me, first of all, congratulate you for the position that you are now in. Secondly, let me also acknowledge our previous leaders and governments where Okata come up with this initiative. Many years ago, this idea have come up. And you may like for, thank you more for this wonderful idea. So you may finally come and you may discuss it, debating here in Parliament, this says bill. We also like to say thank you to the hardworking minister, your peers, and the executives for finally taking this bill coming on the floor of Parliament. I'll be quick, sir. As your speaker well knows, in any ideal country, there must be a specialized economic zone. Intention, block zones here, and clear one, no more, very clear. The intention and the purpose. Just like what the previous speakers said, the specialized economic zone is purposely for an establishment, development, and management of that for a specialized area. Now, what I am trying to achieve, himself, for boosting investment, of course, lead to socio-economic development. Yumi Garem bill here. As part of discussion and contribution, me reminding me of standing orders 48C, where debate should confine to the nitty-gritties, issues globally. So, I may not go anywhere more, but me supporting this bill. I'm very clear. The intentions are clear. Sir, further to that, and with all respect, me looking, I've seen the recommendations in the report. Me like for Talem also no more, and with respect, these recommendations, no thinking below me, have more like policy thing, where proper place, proper avenue, blogata, hamlo there. These are matters where we should go during the drafting stage, consulting stage. This time, we will here to debate the bill, the content of the bill. So that's my say on that one, the recommendations. Now, apart from the SAYS bill, we like also to say that we also have the CDF Act. In that Act, also allow the 50 members of Parliament to develop 50 Fala growth centers. I think those were already building growth centers, but this is also another alternative for supporting now what specialized economic zones here. Everyone points to one thing, no more. Investment for growth, selling, boosting employment, supporting now socio-economic growth in the country. So, sir, for this bill, I have no problem with it. We no got any difficulty or challenge lohem. Me supportive intentions lohem. And so far as my ministry am concerned, we feel also wakatu in line how now for supporting this bill, the revenue bill, for instance, it's perhaps cost of common parliament, the Provincial Government Act 1997 amendment. So this is a good thing going forward for you, me, this for country say. As I said, contribution to me, but I'm very short no more. And with those remarks, I support the bill.
Thank you very much, Minister for Provincial Government. I will now suspend Parliament and we will resume at 2 p.m.